Hello, servus, moin, welcome back to the channel. Good morning, everyone. I was just thinking to myself, I don't think I've ever been on a train, like a train. I don't think I ever have. It's weird. I was just thinking about it to myself. Like, I've always driven or flew basically everywhere I've gone. So it's kind of a weird thing. I was also thinking to myself, it's been a topic of debate. It hasn't been hugely a huge topic of conversation per se, but it is a topic of conversation nevertheless of getting a commuter train built and, laying down the infrastructure and getting that train system built for Vancouver Island. And there's a group of investors and public interests that are kind of pushing for it to go up and down the island, right? So from the northern tip to the southern tip, or potentially maybe just to Campbell River, I guess, is kind of the end of the northern bigger cities. And it would go south, I suppose, all the way to Victoria. The thing is, the island population here on Vancouver Island in Canada, the population of the island is only, I think it's about 900,000, something like that. It probably swells over 1 million in the summer months with tourism and just summer people that have summer homes. But that's not very much population for just a it's a pretty large area of land, right? So commuter trains, it's just not necessarily economically viable for us, unfortunately. But I do want to take a real train sometime. This video is German train full tour. Weiden to Ramstein. Train travel in Germany for beginners. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Daniel, but you can call me DT. Let's talk about train travel in Germany for beginners. I absolutely love riding the train, and here's why. In Germany and all of Europe, trains go in and out of just about every city. I live in a small Bavarian town of only 50,000 people, and this train station will take me pretty much anywhere I want to go in the EU. There's never a security line. You just get on the train and get off. Very convenient. When there's not a worldwide pandemic, you can eat and drink on the train. Yes, even alcohol. On some trains, you can even order food and drink. More of that in a bit.
That does sound amazing. I think I told some of you this came out in 2022. Okay, so it's just post-pandemic. I was just down in Seattle, Washington, in the United States, and going across the border, the land border by vehicle, it's awful. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. And I also hate airports. I just hate people in general.
Most trains have plugs and tables so you can work, or you can just relax. You don't have to worry about the stress of driving, traffic, or DUIs. Trains are relatively inexpensive and have a flexible schedule, so even if you miss a train connection, there's always another one coming right behind it. It's also worth mentioning there's usually taxis right outside the train station to help you get to your next destination. Now, let's talk about some things that really piss me off about the train system. Train disadvantages. Your travel time on a train can be a little longer than driving on the Autobahn. Duh, that makes sense. Watch out for train delays and strikes. Always be on the lookout for this German word, Verspätung. That'll ruin your day. Sometimes not knowing the language can have you in the opposite direction. Like when you're...
You know what? He's completely right with all of these points, but they also mainly all apply to just any travel in general, which is why traveling is such a pain. Getting to the destination is worth it, but
on vacation in Italy and the very last train going to Nuremberg splits towards the direction of Bayreuth and you have to take a €150 taxi cab back to your house.
Like that.
So how do you avoid that?
Homer Simpson sample in the background there.
Let's say you're in Nuremberg and you're trying to get back to Vilseck or Weiden. This 443 train is going to split. So, which train wagon do you take? A, B, or C? Always look at the letter that corresponds to the correct city, train number, and train wagon you're supposed to get on. If you're looking at this and you chose to get on wagon A, you're correct. But if you're under the influence or confused and chose to get on wagon B or C, you're going the wrong way. You can also be stranded by weather, like when you're coming back from Austria and the snowstorm causes you to get off and ride a bus to the nearest train station. You could also miss your connection for various reasons, like when you're in Crocs because you're trying to be comfortable and you have 5 minutes to catch your next connection. Wait, what? 5 minutes.
I had to do this in Shanghai at the airport. That's a big ass airport. I was sweating.
Made it. On rare occasions, you could also get on an overcrowded train due to train delays or a major event like Oktoberfest. But for the most part, the good outweighs the bad. So let's go over some tips and tricks to make your next train ride successful. Tickets or Fahrkarten can be purchased at a kiosk, online, a ticket counter, or through the DB app. Let's go over the kiosk first. Okay, the first thing you need to do is change the language setting at the bottom. The machine will default to the train station you're at, but you can also look at departure and arrival times from other train stations, such as Vilseck.
So this is really cool. This video would be extremely helpful for travelers in Germany, hence train travel for Germany and beginners. But it's definitely laying out a basic tutorial of all the information you need to travel by train.
Nuremberg. Also, some good to know words in German. Hauptbahnhof or HBF is the central train station. The Bahn or Zug is the train, and Verspätung means delay. Now the DB app is a much more convenient way of looking up timetables. We'll get there. But first, let's talk about the Bayern ticket. One of the only reasons I use the kiosk to purchase tickets is to take advantage of this Bayern pass. For only 26 euros, groups of up to 5 people can take unlimited trips anywhere in the state of Bavaria for the whole day. That's Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 a.m. the next day. Weekends and public holiday travel are valid till midnight. There's free travel for children between 6 and under 15, and it's only 8 extra euro for additional passengers. You should also look at the FAQs to answer any questions you may have, such as pet travel, passenger rights, and cancellation
Legoland
refunds. They actually have a pretty good refund policy that I'll link in the description of this video. Some things to keep in mind. You must write all passengers' names on one Bayern ticket to show the ticket agent on the train. These rules have changed slightly over the years, so it's always good to mind the details. Link will be in the description. You can pay for your ticket at the kiosk using a debit card, cash, or coin. At some train stations like the Weiden one, you can pay for parking with debit card as well. There's usually plenty of places to put your bike outside, or you can also use one of these fancy closets. Okay, let's talk about the DB app. This app has been a lifesaver for me. You can do just about everything from this app. Trip Planner allows you to map out your journey by location, date and time, and first or second class. My Tickets will display your purchase.
These are all things that, like, me personally, I figure out quite easily when I'm traveling, whereas my partner sometimes struggles with, like, apps and just doing stuff like this, where I find them all to be more or less pretty user intuitive and user friendly. And I'll just look it up beforehand, like the local transit systems. Like when we went to Seattle, right? You want to understand how the transit system works, what options there are for transit, and what's the most economical and viable for you to get around for mode of convenience, especially as we're going there on vacation. We don't want to be struggling or not having a good time for any part of our trip. So if the transit's going to be too long or too annoying, then we'll find alternative modes of transport. They have really cool things there called Lime bikes and Lime scooters. So there's this network of scooters and bikes. They're electric, and there's thousands of them, thousands and thousands. They're all over the city. And yeah, you just open up your app and it has like a map on it, and you can just find one wherever you are, and then you can just ride it. They're very, very cheap. It's like $1, I think, for the first hour. And yeah, you can ride it blocks and blocks and blocks. There's really economical systems for cyclists. So it's pretty cool. And then their train system and bus system is pretty good too. Beautiful city. Beautiful city. Very, very busy in the summer though.
Tickets and timetable in real time as you get closer to your final destination. And speaking of timetables, let's go over one. Okay, let's say we're going from Weiden to Ramstein. Here's the options based on the time frame I selected. Click here to look at earlier or later options. Each option shows the departure time and arrival time as it's updated in real time. The time is green because it's scheduled to be an on-time departure. If it's scheduled to be late,
red.
it would show a later time in red. This number is the length of total journey time and the number of times you have to change trains. This is the price for one of
7 hours and 17 minutes. Dang. That's a long-ass trip, man. Weiden to Ramstein, but that's 7 hours and 17 minutes. Woo, baby.
adult passenger in second class. We'll go over first and second class in a bit. And this represents the different types of trains you'll be on. I'll have a link in the description that goes over each type of train, but the most common ones you'll see are S-Bahn, U-Bahn, Alex, Regional Express, Regional Bahn, Intercity, and Intercity Express trains. You still with me? Good. Let's say we want this first option. From here, we can go into further detail of this specific.
So this one's leaving Weiden at 12:41, arrives München 3:18, leaves there at 3:28. Pretty tight connection. Damn. So for reference, we drove to Seattle in 2 hours and 15 minutes from Vancouver, mind you.
Journey. You can see we leave from platform 2 on an Alex train, and the train number is RE2. If we scroll down, we can see the time we're scheduled to be at each individual stop. Our first time to change trains would be in Munich at 15:18. We would get off on platform 25, and we'd have 10 minutes to get to platform 15 that leaves at 15:28. The train we would look for is the ICE 514, which is a high-speed intercity express train. On the next page, you would pick an offer with cancellation options, seat options, and collect bond points. As a frequent traveler, you have the option to purchase a bond card, which allows you to collect points for free travel, exclusive benefits, and special offers. Link will be in the description. Okay, kids, are we ready to board the train? Quick German lesson. Abfahrt, departures. Ankunft,
Abfahrt.
arrivals. Fahrkarte, ticket. Fahrplan, schedule a timetable. And Gleis is track. Oh, check out this luggage escalator if you have a bunch of stuff with you. That's convenient. I'll be taking the 6:10 a.m. RE41 regional train to Ramstein, leaving from Gleis Nummer 4. Bye, Oma. Bye, Opa. Okay, I'm on board in second class at a table seat, which comes with cup holders, a small trash can, and plenty of leg room near the heater. Put your luggage up top or in the designated luggage areas near the exits. German lesson. Ausstieg links, rechts. Exit to the left or right. Next station, Vilseck. Next station, Vilseck. Now let's check out first class on the regional train. The only difference I see with second and first class on the regional train is first class is more private, quieter, it has more leg room, and it comes with a 220-volt outlet. There are sections of the train for bikes and handicap, and bathrooms look a little something like this.
Basically like an airplane washroom. Get yourself a good book and sit down and start killing time. I wonder if the scenery is the scenery a thing? Look out the window. How do you guys like when you're traveling? Do you read? Do you listen to music? Do you bring movies preloaded onto your devices? What do you do for those long flights, for those long trips, long drives, long train rides?
Okay, we have a small problem, but this is a great learning opportunity. As you can see, I'm almost in Nuremberg, which is my first train change, but the app is telling me I'm going to be 20 minutes late for a 7:43 arrival instead of a 7:23 arrival. So I'm definitely going to miss my connection at 7:30. So the app will give you alternative routes, but what I'm going to do is go back to Trip Planner and look up the closest Nuremberg departure around 7:43 when I arrive. Okay, so here's one leaving at 8 a.m. that works out perfect for me. My new platform or track will be 7, and the train number is ICE 728. Don't worry about buying the ticket. When you get on this new route, the ticket agent will see that I missed my connection due to a delay and will accept my original ticket to be on board. The only problem is that I might not have the same assigned first class seat because I'm now on a new train. We'll see. Guten Morgen, Herr Taylor. Welcome to first-class seating on the ice train. This is the vibe. You've got plenty of space, leg room, a seat recliner thing, this footrest, which is unnecessary for lanky people, but okay. Free Wi-Fi, 220-volt outlet, a reading light. There's a fancy restaurant where you can order food and drinks, or you can order from the menu at your seat. I usually go with a coffee and the apple strudel with vanilla sauce, but today I'm trying out the chicken soup. Nicht schlecht. If you take a walk around, you'll notice various types of seating, like this box cart that can fit 6 people who apparently will be forced to stare at each other the whole ride. Or you can look at this mirror.
Makes me think of Harry Potter, right? When they're going to school.
While you're seated to keep an eye on your belongings up top. All 6 of you can also take a vote to control the mood lighting and temperature. Well, I successfully made my trip to Kaiserslautern, and now I'm changing trains to get to Ramstein. I hope you learned something from this video. If you're looking for more videos about Germany, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Yeah, it's pretty informative, and a tutorial basically on traveling for beginner on that particular route and with that train network. From, what was it, Weiden to Ramstein. Cool. Yeah. Seems pretty convenient and economical, at least. I don't know how far that is. How far is Weiden to Ramstein? Like, let's see. Anyways, Weiden to Ramstein. 415 kilometers. Wow. Damn. So it's about 4 hours drive. What about, I'm curious, Vancouver to Seattle. So that was 415 kilometers. Vancouver to Seattle is much shorter than that. I believe it's like 300 kilometers maybe, or 250. Oh, 229, yeah, 250. So it's a pretty short drive, really. The only thing is, let me show you guys here. We had to go to Nanaimo first. So here is Nanaimo. And from Nanaimo, we actually took the Duke Point ferry. So you drive past Nanaimo out here and right to this little ferry terminal, which is Duke Point Ferry Terminal. Whoop. We take that across. It's about a 2-hour ferry ride. It's not great. We arrive in Swassen, and then you can drive out to the border. So the inconvenience, that is one of the downfalls of living on the island here. You have to get over to the mainland, right? And sometimes you can feel kind of trapped. If the weather's really bad, air travel is a lot more expensive. So it's just one of those things you have to deal with if you're living on this big old island here that I'm on. All right. Tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen.